We just got hit with a 1 in 1,000 year rain event. Some are comparing it to the 1916 flood, but really we're splitting hairs. We got an unprecedented amount of rain and Asheville is completely in shambles. It was the remnants of Hurricane Helene, which hit the west coast of Florida. We're getting pictures and video from family that are just heartbreaking. And this was all made worse because before Helene came, before we got that 15 inches of rain, there was already flooding going on from a previous rainstorm that was completely unrelated. And I can't believe what we're seeing out here. And although we have no electricity or cell phone reception or gasoline or groceries or medical care, we're okay right now. If you go out to town, entire parking lots are full of people just trying to get out text messages and make phone calls because all the cell phone towers are out. And when you can get a bar, the data connection is severed, and so you can't send or receive anything. If you live in South Carolina, Tennessee, Georgia, Florida especially, I just hope you're okay and that you're staying safe, because here there are entire roads missing. So I'm gonna show you some footage from the past 2 days, show you how we've been getting along here on Berm Peak, and then we're gonna see if the roads are passable through Brevard, North Carolina, so I can check on the Berm Peak Ranger Station. We had to refund guests. I hope a tree didn't go through my roof, and most of all, I hope my neighbors there are okay. I haven't heard from any of them because they don't have cell phone reception. I'm doing some final preparations. It's been raining since last night, about 4 inches, everything's soggy, and we're expecting up to 15 inches here on Berm Peak. Got this extension cord all ready with the E-truck in there. And this drain over here, somebody got a little bit overzealous with a string trimmer. I ran it over here to try and spread it out. Not ideal, but better than just dumping down next to the foundation like it was. We're here in the attic. These are the skylights over here. Shattered, the outer pane, filling with water. So what do? Well, had I known earlier, we could have tarped it, but my flight got in last night, and roof is at a 45-degree pitch, soaking wet. I am not going up there, so we're gonna raw dog it and hope for the best.
When you have no cell phone reception and you have no power, you end up sleeping really good because nobody can get in touch with you. But now we gotta get things running.
Time to start the generator. Now, we only run the generator for an hour a day, but this goes 24/7. Since 8 a.m. yesterday, my truck has been running the refrigerators. Let's see how much is left. 96% battery. So since yesterday, 96% battery, 4% per day. That gives us a pretty good amount. Now, because there's nowhere to get gasoline, we just run the generator for an hour in the morning and an hour at night to give us a little bit of normality, and also to add pressure to the water tank so that we can fill up water bottles and wash dishes and things like that. If you have city water, then your water just works all the time, and if it stops working, you're in big trouble. Here we have a well, and so they actually drill a well and they drop a submersible pump down to the bottom, and it doesn't just turn on when you need water, it actually fills this tank over here. It's 50 gallons, doesn't quite provide 50 gallons. Now, when the pressure gets really low, then I need to turn on the generator. It runs a pump, there's the well pump controller, and then we can see the pressure go up, and then it stops at about 65, and then we have water for a good amount of the day. Now, if we have to take a shower or something like that, that's not quite enough. Then we probably have to run the generator to provide continuous pressure. But if we just run the generator for a minute, it will fill that pressure tank and we'll have water all day for washing dishes, filling bottles, whatever. All right, my neighbor says he's gonna venture out to try and find some gas. From everybody I hear, that's not gonna be a thing. Which one are you going to, Marathon?
Yeah, in Mills River.
Marathon, Mills River? I'm gonna try Etowah. I'm just gonna grab the chainsaw and see if I can do it. Looks like road crews have been out here because I'm able to get through here at least. Just landslides everywhere. There is no way we're getting through here. Oh yeah. There is one road that goes way up and it might go over this and I might be able to get into town that way. I'm just seeing treetops, like the tops of trees poking out here. This is devastating. That fire hydrant over there is not even submerged. I'm gonna check this out and see how we do. Okay. It still hasn't reached the inside of the gator. We gotta keep it going. We're gonna make it. We're gonna make it. But the motor's up a little bit higher, and I know the intake is up a little higher, so we're good. No traffic lights are working. I mean, just nothing. Everything's a four-way stop. I suspect this wire isn't live, but... Oh, that's not good. That's not the longest gas station line I've ever seen. I guess because it's so hard to get here. So $25 limit per person, that's probably a good thing so everybody can get a little and somebody with a big bunch of cans like me can't just take it all. I should have remembered from Florida when there are hurricanes, that's what they do. But man, I've been trying to send a text message back home and nothing is getting through. I have 2 bars, but I mean, that just means the cell phone tower is powered up, but there's no internet to it. Getting closer. Thank you, sir.
Have a good one.
You too. That's it. That's all we can get. Look at this. As you can see by the trees, this is not where water normally is. Sometimes it overflows, but this is insane. And what's really sad is, this is like food supply. Those look like pepper. A lot of people are doing the same things. They're trying to get in touch with loved ones that they have not been able to contact because there's no cell phone reception, and they're just trying to get to them to see if they're okay. That's the stories I keep hearing from people kind of waiting in line, and I'm just so thankful I have Starlink and I can communicate with everybody. Nobody's wondering whether we're okay. Okay. So up here, it's pretty aggressively graded. So there are landslides, but these are really small landslides. They're not houses above them or beneath them. But you can see when you just make the grade too steep and it's not vegetated enough water, that's it. I'm out early to go and check on my house in Pisgah Forest. It's under a whole bunch of trees, and I haven't heard from any of my neighbors there. I suspect they can't get cell phone reception or anything. I hope they're okay. All right, I'm getting closer to my house in Pisgah Forest, and I am hoping I can even pass this road. It looks like a lake out there. There was water over there, but over here it looks dry. I think we can get through. Please, please, please. This neighborhood is so wooded. It looks like the roof is definitely covered in some debris. I mean, that's not even a lot of debris from here. That looks okay. My deck over here is covered in debris, but... Oof, that was a close one. Smells pretty good in here, if slightly humid. All right. About what you would expect. I think we freaking dodged a bullet here. That is an extraordinary relief. I don't even deserve this. All right, now to check on some of the neighbors. These are really good people. Like, they call me anytime there's a problem. They don't mind that there's an Airbnb here. Like, they're super, super cool. And so I want to just check to make sure they're okay. So I did check on one of my neighbors last night, an older woman who lives alone at the bottom of the hill. Her generator was just running full blast. I said, are you conserving fuel? And she said, I don't know how to turn the generator off. I'm gonna go and check on her today and see how she's doing and see whether she was able to get in touch with the gas company. I'm just gonna go home and lay low and conserve fuel for at least 2 or 3 days. Otherwise, you drive around and you burn half a gallon of gas trying to find fuel. And we have some fuel. And so we can just make it last rather than doing this foolish searching. This was really our worst fear. We actually need something in Asheville. My daughter got surgery not too long ago, and one of her incisions is inflamed, and so they called us in antibiotics. There are no pharmacies, so we have to go to Mission Hospital, which has been hit really, really hard, and that's all the information I have. I have to find the hospital pharmacy. They called us in antibiotics. So my father-in-law and I are driving out there, and we have to use gasoline. If everything goes right, you just hunker down in your house for a few days, right? But if not, then you gotta make stuff work. It looks like gas stations are starting to open up. This one, I mean,
Just diesel.
just diesel. So some of those cars are in for a rude awakening. They got lights over here. I guess because it's the airport, they were able to get power going over here. For the past 3 days, Route 26 has been closed, and we don't know how passable it is. It could be that some exits you can get off of and some exits you can't. The information varies, so we don't know if this is gonna get us to Mission Hospital, and all gas is precious. No, this is our exit, and it's closed.
That's because of that water. Remember, I took a look at it.
Oh, man. Oh, it's totally flooded.
Continue
All
for
the
2
cameras.
miles.
Oh my. I hope nobody was in this campers. It's like the entire River Arts District's gone. It's just crazy.
Turn right.
Go in here and then we're gonna get to the main entrance and then I know where the pharmacy is. Oh, man. Hey, I just need to go to the pharmacy. Thank you. Appreciate you. They won't give me the prescription. They won't give me the prescription because it was called in electronically and they can't get them all. And so I need to deliver a script to them or admit my daughter to the hospital. So I need to stop shooting this and deal with this. Shout out to doctors and nurses. When your difficult job gets even more difficult, our doctor friend said that people are coming here with buckets of creek water to flush toilets because they can't flush them. I think my daughter's gonna be all right. We have ointment and we have doctor friends, and by tomorrow we'll have everything worked out. But I wish we had known that we need to walk in with a prescription. I mean, the doctor called it in, and presumably the doctor thought we were able to go in there and get it. But they were just turning away anybody who had their prescriptions called in electronically. We thought we could at least go to the grocery store for some dog food, but there's just people scalping stuff, like $6 waters out front. And to be fair, it's better than no water. The power just turned back on. What am I doing? The power just turned back on. So we got power. We all slept well with no humidity in the house. I took a hot shower. But honestly, for the last few days, I've been living in relative luxury. I've been able to use my electric toothbrush, right? There are other people celebrating much smaller wins, like, okay, we have a place to stay now, or we finally got food. So this platform right now is for helping the people. And then once the people are helped, we're going to help the trails. And although I don't know what that restoration effort is going to look like, I'm going to make sure that we're part of it. This has been devastating for the entire Southeast because a weather event like this just doesn't happen here. Not in 100 years, not in 1,000 years. And nobody was expecting it. And so I hope you're all staying safe. If you or loved ones have been affected by the storm, I wish you the very best, and I hope you get the help you need. We should somewhat be getting back to business as usual here, but thanks for riding with me today, and I'll see you next time.